everyone. Welcome to the Waldorf Connection. This is Donna Ashton, and we've got Jody Messler here, a special musician guest star who's going to be talking all about a blowing instrument, what kind you need, do you need this, do you need that, and she's going to do some demonstrations and walk you through kind of the first grade curriculum of what's kind of covered in the music curriculum. And yeah, so we're just greeting everyone who's popping on the line. Feel free to come over and say hello and let us know how old your child is that you're going to be teaching the blowing instrument, so we have an idea. And or just say hi to us. It's nice. So underneath the video, there's a little button that says chat. So you can open up your chat by clicking on that. And then if you have a question as Jody's talking, you can pop it over into the chat, and then we'll get to that at the end and answer any questions. But so you don't forget, you can pop in your question over there, or if you just want to say hello. So, all right, I think we'll just kind of go ahead, and if people are still coming in, we'll just let that go, and that will be fine. Let me find the bio here for you. Got too many screens. Okay, so let me just give you a little information about Jody. As a music teacher and Waldorf homeschooling parent of the early grades, Jody Messler wrote Living Music from the Heart music curriculum for her children and for homeschooling parents to teach their children music in a living way. She's been teaching music for 22 years. Jody currently teaches her curriculum to students who take private lessons at her home and with other families over Skype. She's been a presenter for the Taproot Teacher Training in Ohio, for Waldorf Essentials in Atlanta, and Waldorf Homeschool Conference in Orlando, Florida, as well as leading local workshops in her hometown of Atlanta. So other than teaching, Jody's favorite thing about music is songwriting, and she is currently writing an album of original inspirational instrumental songs called Rays of Grace. So welcome to the call, Jody.
Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and start with my favorite instrument out of all of them, and it's the penny whistle. So let me grab the penny whistle. So this is my favorite one right here, and it's the Clark penny whistle. And I'm going to put it up to the screen. Can y'all see that?
Is it wood or metal or what?
Yeah, so this one is a wooden Fipple plug, and it is made out of tin. So it's like a tin whistle. That's why they call it tin whistle. Okay. And I'm going to demonstrate my favorite song. And that's what it sounds like. That's
my
called,
dog in the other room is her ears are going.
So that's called Over the Waterfall, and it's an American folk song from long ago. And so I wanted to show you several different penny whistles here. I've got 4 different ones right here, if you can see. They're all tin. You hear that? They're all made of tin. Even though this one is painted pink, it's still tin. But if you notice, look at the mouthpieces. They're all
sort of squished or something, right?
Yeah, so 2 of them are like wooden Fipple plugs right here. It gives it a wooden type tin blend. And then these are plastic.
Oh, okay.
So what the difference is it's really easy to blow the plastic ones. Like this is, for example, what it would sound like. See that? So it doesn't take a lot of breath, but this one takes a lot of breath. So it kind of takes more breath, which
I can definitely hear the difference. So it would be easier for younger kids to play the one with the plastic tip.
It would be easier, yes, but in the long run, it would be more helpful to play this one because their lungs are developing, and it's the heart area that's developing. That's why I like this one so much, is because it does take a little bit extra breath, and that breath matches the wavelength of each note. So that could be a pro or a con. So basically, I'm going to show you this one so you can see it really clearly. It's the silver one. It's with the wooden Fipple plug. It has only 6 holes and no back, and you can play the pentatonic scale, which is the 5-note scale. You can use it from first grade up to fifth grade. All right, so I was just talking about how you can use this from first grade up until fifth grade, but you can actually move into Irish music, which there's a whole world of Irish music that you can learn how to play too with this. Like the song I was just playing. That's called Britches Full of Stitches, and I got that from an Irish curriculum. I have a woman in Atlanta who does Irish music and Irish dance, and she teaches the tin whistle as well, that you can join a ceilidh band. So it's got a great lead into, a place where you can join a band. And actually, if you go over to Ireland, they have traditional bands over there where they still play this traditional music in like pubs or communities. They'll grab their fiddle, they'll grab their guitar, and some will have a penny whistle, and of course the other Irish instruments, and they'll all come together and they'll play this song. The Britches Full of Stitches would be one of them. It's one of the staple traditional songs. So that's what I think is really cool about the penny whistle. The other thing is very inexpensive. They range from like $8 up until like $20. So they're not very expensive at all. So for my family, I had 3 kids, so it was the best choice for me to go with this one because of the cost. And plus, I'm already a flutist, so I understood how to, play it and easily blow the notes. So, let's talk about that, the cons of the penny whistle now. So speaking of blowing the notes, we've already talked about the different mouthpieces. Now let's talk about making a sound. So with the penny whistle, it is a 2-octave instrument, meaning you can play it 1 low and 1 high. That was 2 full octaves, so you can do so much with this instrument because it is a real instrument, and it is a professional instrument as well. So, but the thing about it is, to get those notes out, you have to blow them a certain way. So your breath has to be slow on the low notes and faster on the high notes, and even faster on that high one. So there's 3 levels of speed, and so that's kind of hard for little kids to get. They're always, when they get down here, they're always overblowing it. Like, like if they're playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, they'll go, and they'll have the wrong tone to start it with. So that's kind of a challenge to get them to get down to that low note, because usually they'll overblow. Hear how I'm overblowing that a little bit?
Yes.
They tend to do that. So that's one of the cons. And I'll show you how the others work where it doesn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other cons would be that it's cold to the touch, whereas a wooden instrument is warm. And some people kind of like that. They don't like the touch of it.
Right.
Because it is tin. But the cool thing, it is wooden in the back, so it gives it that nice wooden sound. And so there's the penny whistle. I hope y'all.
Yeah, so of the penny whistles that you showed, then you would recommend that last one, like that.
I like these 2 myself, but it's all about what you like.
Right.
I'm just giving you the highlights of them.
Okay.
So there's the penny whistle. Let's move on to the recorder.
All right.
Okay, I've got 3 recorders right here. Here's a wooden recorder. Here is a plastic recorder that's kind of like this wooden-ish finish, and it is the English Baroque fingering system. And this is a plastic recorder that is the Germans' fingering system. And so I'll explain those systems in a minute because they're really important, I think. And I'll give you a demonstration of the recorder, what it sounds like. Okay, so I'm going to play Shortening Bread. It's a folk song, and it's a pentatonic song. That's what that sounds like.
Nice.
So I'm going to talk about the pros right now. It's very inexpensive if you choose this one, if it's plastic. So it's anywhere from $8 up into like $30. Like this one was $30 because it's a Yamaha and it's got that wooden finish on it. It's like a plastic wooden finish, so it gives it kind of a softer sound. And like this one was only like $8. And this is the just pure plastic one. Oh, sorry, it's squeaky a lot. And to get those high notes out, you have to pull down halfway on the back for that E to come out. It's a high note, so I got it that time. So it just makes it a challenge. So that's one of the cons of the recorder. It's got that back pull that you have to halfway cover sometimes to get the higher notes. But more pros about this is that you can use this from 1st grade all the way up until 8th grade, because this can move into the Renaissance age, and you can use your songs from the Renaissance period to learn, like they do in 6th and 7th and 8th in the Waldorf schools. They'll that. It has a nice, clear, loud tone, and it only requires a little bit of breath. So you don't have to like breathe, a lot in like the penny whistle had. And this one is actually, a lot of you probably started on the recorder when you were in school. So this is like the #1 starting choice of many schools. So those were all the pros about the instrument. Now let's talk about the cons. So if you do choose plastic, they are, cold to the touch again. And they may be too loud for some people's taste, the tone. And it's not natural material, plastic. And it has a bunch more holes to cover.
Right.
And, but I do want to say you can play the pentatonic scale on this. And when you play the diatonic scale on this one, this is the German fingering method, okay? So German is easier to finger. So this is like the C scale. Going up. So, but on the English Baroque recorder, which is what everybody sells first. A lot of people don't know about this fingering system. They sell this one first because it's just the one that they sell, and it's more in tune when you play an F. So the F is fingered like this instead of like this. It's more like a forked finger, so it's kind of harder to play. So it's like when you're playing your scale, instead of lifting up one finger at a time like you do on this one, you would actually have to go to this F, which is like this, and it's kind of a challenge for the younger kids to get to that F, So here is that scale, the C scale. That's how that would be played.
Right.